it's a perfect frame.
Yes.
Oh, I'm just going to tripod out the way a little so that.
Oh,
sorry.
Sorry. Hi guys.
Hello. Sorry.
Oh, they're joining on YouTube too.
Oh, y'all
Y'all be on YouTube?
Y'all be awake, yeah?
Yeah. They going on YouTube. Yeah, we've been hanging out all day. All day.
Plotting and scheming.
Plotting on y'all.
As you do.
Scheming.
Niggas trying to hate on me. Alright, come on, niggas.
Oh my god.
This is so relevant
Oh my god.
for today's mood.
I know, right?
Today's mood is giving you arrogance,
Yeah.
opulent,
Right.
self-aware,
Yes.
boss bitch.
Yes.
That's what today's mood is. So,
Yes.
if you aren't prepared, accordingly prepare yourself.
Right.
Because
Right.
there's no playing about in this
Yeah.
territory.
And we already know it's all a winning team. We always going nuts. So they're gonna hate. Whatever.
They have to hate.
Yeah, they're gonna hate. Why? What else would you do on the winning team?
Oh, we're gonna hate.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some lighting, honey!
Uh-oh.
We got a little bit of a tech team going on.
Uh-oh.
A little situation.
Uh-oh. We love
So,
you too.
as usual, you're more than welcome to fire your questions, but because the device we're using is turned sideways on Instagram Live, in case you see me doing this, it's because I'm trying to read your questions.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
But thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's such an awkward time. You might be on your way home from work, or
I know.
you're trying to spend time with your family, you're trying to have dinner, but you're more than welcome to watch this in your own time because this will be up later.
Yes, it'll
But-
definitely be on my YouTube. The totality, everything will be up on my YouTube. So you guys can definitely check it out at ABM Talks, so that you guys can have everything that you need on my YouTube, so that you guys don't ask me, oh, you gotta upload this live for your YouTube. You better upload this live for your YouTube. So that everything is there. Everything is there. Yeah. First of all, I just wanted to start with thank you guys for joining me earlier with that powerful message, because I also wanted to tell you guys that I wouldn't have gotten to this place without you guys either. I've learned so much from you, all of you, working with all of you, reading your comments, just learning about you guys in general, and what your dating styles is, because I can't be a great dating coach without learning what you guys do too, so that I can help you. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Yes.
Thank you.
And what makes Imani a really amazing dating coach, as someone who is her client, yes, I am currently a client and have been a client for quite a while, because, and you know what, I hate to admit this because I'm a fire sign, and Imani has a thing for dragging fire signs.
Oh my God.
I'm a repeat offender. I will repeat, as in I am not good at listening, and that's one of the things that she mentions about fire signs, where we take a very long time to take heed. It's not that we don't get it, it's that for some reason we think that we can do it our own way and it will still work. I'm here to let you know, as Sagittarius, Libra rising, I'm letting you know that there's no other way aside from the way you've been told to do it. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you, Chief, but
I think it is so hilarious. I think it's so cute because it's like I already know what's about to happen. So I think it's so hilarious, and I think it's so cute because I don't really mind it, because everybody, fights against taking, the right advice at first. It's just like kids or teenagers not taking advice. But fire signs have perfected a universal way of not taking the advice. And that shit is hilarious to me, because I was like, woo, I already know.
Well, listen, we think, yeah, hey, Imani, so I did the complete opposite of what you said, and it didn't work. So can you tell me why it didn't work? I don't understand. I'm a great person, and it didn't work. I don't understand. I'm not liking this at all. That's basically fire signs. And you know what? As someone who refers to herself as an evolved fire sign, I can tell you that even when you're evolved, there are still certain traits you just can't move past, and that is not listening to other people. And you think because you have this certain flair and tact, you can apply your own way to it. It's not going to work. So if you're someone who is a fire sign and does want to have a session with Imani, here's how to prepare yourself as a fire sign. So step number one, Imani's approach is very, very direct, very clinical, as in, here's what's wrong, here's what you need to do, and here's how to continue to maintain this good effort. And if you're a fire sign and you're used to having your hand held like me, you're gonna initially feel a bit like, why is she being mean? She's not being mean.
No.
What's happening is that she wants you to succeed as soon as possible. And the only way to succeed as soon as possible is to take the direct instructions and apply it immediately. So if you are a fire sign and you do want to have a session, you first need to examine where you are in life right now. Are you in your in denial stage? Or, you know, maybe you might be still in your pick-me stage, or you might be in your temporarily or relatively evolved stage where you do feel like you're ready to date, you're ready to take heed, you're ready to be criticized and told what you're doing wrong, and be ready to get on your ball and get on your game. But be prepared to be read for filth.
Yeah, and the thing is, please don't take it personally, because
it's never personal.
I am the same way in my sessions that I am all online, because I want everybody to breathe success. It's not, oh, I'm going to be this way to this random person and this way to this random person. No, I'm the same way for everybody. So it's just never personalized. I want us to all be successful, because the faster that you are successful, the more that I can relax, and the more that we all can breathe success and all relax and not be talking about the same things over and over again. That's just basically how I look at it. And I want you guys to look at it the same way. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. And I'm not going to sit there and coddle you to the point where you're making no progress. I'm going to tell you exactly what you are doing wrong, exactly what you need to do, and how we are going to create the success that you came to me for. Yeah. So yeah. And just like working with Shadera, the Slumflower, of course, I've learned so much about my own work. I swear, I've learned so much.
It's been so fun.
Like, just working with her, and such a powerful, iconic person. And
stop
that! You know,
you're so kind, thank you, Money.
Seriously,
but I just said the same, because I feel like, as someone who, you know, does have quite a relatively high profile, and in case you see me looking in two different directions, it's because we have two different devices that we're streaming live from, so don't think we're acting like weirdos. As someone who does have a really high profile, my problem is my own ego, because I'm so used to having people run around me in circles and cater to the idea of me that I feel like automatically the dating world is immediately like that, but it's not the case. And through my work with Imani, which again, as a fire sign, it's taken way longer than it should, because again, we are very slow. But when we win big, girl.
Exactly.
But you know, we're very slow. Exactly. And I've been with Imani for a while. Exactly. But what I can say that I've learned from Imani's sessions and from witnessing her work, because remember, I'm her client, so I do have one-to-one liaisons with her, but I do also watch her YouTube, I watch her stories, I watch her lives, I read her captions, I watch everything she uploads, so that I make sure that I'm doing as much work in my own time as possible, so that when I do approach her, it means I can have concise and attentive sessions. I found that as someone with a large public profile, my biggest difficulty has been running into people who, if they do know what I do, or if they eventually figure out what I do, they're quite enamored by it, and they think this is like a really interesting world, and it's very exciting. And why that's a problem for me is because they tend to fall in love with the idea of me before they get the opportunity to fall in love with me as a person. And so what's been happening is that through Imani's sessions, I've been learning to really, really contain my ego. And that's a very important lesson for everybody, regardless of how many followers you have, how successful you are. Your ego determines how well you do, because your ego is very useful when it's time to block these guys and tell them about themselves. Right. But it becomes your downfall when you can't see if someone is being around you because they like the idea of you or they like the reality of you. And through Imani's sessions, in case you're not a client and you're thinking about joining, you will not just learn how to navigate dating as a woman, but you will also learn a lot about your positioning in the world and how to really assert your space. And I think personally, as someone who does actively date men, I know it's very unfortunate, but as someone who does actively date my oppressor, I'm learning a lot about boundary setting. I'm learning a lot about, you know, moving through the dating world with the mindset that I'm not this person with a high profile. I'm a normal person, and I have a lot of greatness inside me, and intrinsically I'm a wonderful person. And yes, if you're lucky enough to figure out what I do, or if I tell you what I do, that's the icing on the cake. But it should never be that you like me because of what I do. And that's something that I'm learning a lot, because it is very blurry territory when you maybe have a large following, or your whole life you've been told that you're pretty, or you're used to people running around after you. Dating can be just as hard as if you have low self-esteem and you've been told your whole life that you're ugly, because what happens is you're not looking through a clear glass, you're looking through a very speckled and blurry glass. So what Imani's role is in this situation, what Imani's role is in this situation is to just clean down the glass, tell you about yourself. It might be a drag, it might be a bit of a harsh read, but that drag and that read, it will hurt your feelings as a fire sign, specifically for 5 solid minutes. But after that, you'll be like, thank you, I needed that, and now it's time for me to beast and apply the things that you've said. And honestly, I feel like this is bigger than just dating. This is more about exercising a few things: self-restraint, examining your behavior, checking in with yourself, but ultimately always knowing what you truly deep down want. And I think before you start a session with Imani, and I keep saying this, before you start a session with Imani, you really need to figure out, what do you want your dating life to look like? Because when I first started mine with Imani, she, and this is like standard for her, she will send you like a list of questions about, about you, your taste. For me, I know what my taste is, but I needed to really know, what do I want my dating life to look like? Do I want to go on vacations? Do I want to find someone who likes what I do and wants to be a supportive network for me? Do I want to just, experiment and see what's out there? For me, what I want for my dating life is someone who is really down for me and wants to actively support me, not just financially, but in terms of really checking in with me and reminding me of not just who I am, but why I started. It's very hard to find that, but with Imani's help, it becomes a lot easier to sift through and do the vetting, which I think vetting as a process is the THE in caps lock, bold, underline, the most important stage of the process. And this is exactly how you avoid emotionally abusive or financially abusive people, because I'm sure, Imani, you've heard this a lot in terms of like passive aggressive people, or even your own clients who have said, I really want to date rich men, or I want to date men who can help me, but I'm scared of being financially abused. And this is something that is very serious, and Imani takes this very seriously in her work, where she does want you to be safe, and how she enforces that is she teaches you how to ask certain questions, look out for certain behaviors, watch certain body languages, and when you are attentive and aware of that, that's how you are able to identify it before you even give away your phone number.
Exactly.
Girl, oh my God. Because before, I'm sure some people can relate, before, I would give up my phone number like in the street, like a crackhead. Right? This is crackhead behavior, because, no, but why I say it's crackhead behavior is because you want a fast fix, right? And I'm not shaming anybody who's addicted to drugs. The true meaning behind the reference is that when you're a crackhead, you want an immediate fix. So when you're giving a number in the street, you want an immediate fix of validation.
Yeah, validation for men.
Yeah. Right. So I've learned that there is a process to this, and all men, I don't care if you're good, like the rule here is, we don't care if you're good looking, we don't care if you're on 6 figures, we don't care if you have, everything going for you. Rules will still apply to all of you, and through enacting that and actively reinforcing that, I've learned a lot about not just men, but myself, in terms of my own ability to quench my urges, because a lot of our urges come from trauma. It comes from the need for validation, like you just said, but also it just comes from boredom. And boredom is the literal breeding ground for bad decisions. Because when you're bored, you're like, well, you know, it could work out.
Yeah,
you know,
it could turn into something. It could. And you know, it's funny that you brought up the narcissism thing with fire signs and everything, and wanting to be validated, because that's with a lot of people, whether they are fire signs or not. Because a lot of us, you know, we do fall in love with ourselves and we want somebody to fall in love with us. But the thing is, it's great to want that, but the thing is it really them falling in love with you, or are they just telling you what you want to hear so that
another drag? See how she drags you out of nowhere? Like, why are you coming? My wig is loose.
So say it.
No, they're gonna take a screenshot.
I know they're gonna take a screenshot.
My synthetic wig.
Be like, oh,
synthetic wig. This is synthetic.
Somebody
by
got
the way.
names with Slumflower and actual black mermaid got the wrong type of wigs.
Now this is synthetic wig, and we're still winning with our wigs lifting, and we ain't ashamed because we're black girls, and all black girls know about the hair relationship. Right. But yeah, it's like narcissism and ego is something you definitely have to get over, because I'm telling you guys think that, oh, it's all about these tips and tricks and everything, but it's really how easy it is to manipulate the ego and how easy it is to lie to you and get you into narcissism. Are you listening?
You know, it's so easy to feed your narcissism. It's so easy to make you believe that you're healing them, you're saving them, you're a goddess.
You're too good for him.
You're too good for him, but you're still sticking around, and you're just so amazing. You're just such a goddess. Oh my God, I'm such a goddess. He's shitting on me, but I'm such a goddess. Like, it's so easy to get you in that place, and people will literally shit on you while you're in that place, and you will just feel like, oh, it's just happening to me because he doesn't know what to do with such an amazing person like me. You have to get out of that space, because that's the most common place that gets people played, is lying to themselves that way. Because once you are honest with yourself, and this is the thing, people think I'm dragging them, but I drag myself all the time. There would be no way that I could be helpful to all of these people and successful and breed all this success for all these people if I didn't drag myself for my own bad behaviors and things that I could have changed if I wasn't so narcissistic at one point, if I didn't have such a big ego, if I wasn't so hard-headed, or if I just wasn't paying attention to what was around me because I wanted to lie to myself about what it really, really was. I literally tell you guys all the time, every lesson that I'm teaching you guys is lessons that I learned through myself. Lessons that I learned that I had to literally peel the mask off. And I'm talking about peeling a mask off like a scab from my face, like all the time.
Bleeding while you're pulling it, but you gotta find the pain.
Exactly, and I do it for you guys through an Instagram post so that you don't have to go through that whole peeling of the scabs. So you don't have to go through the whole peeling of the scabs by yourself, you know? And that's what's important to me, is that you don't have to go through the whole painful peeling process of getting to, like, really have to be honest with yourself after something crazy went down because you weren't honest with yourself before. So I'm going to tell you exactly what it is so that you can know exactly how it's going to be, and so we can avoid that together. Yes. By not doing that and not going that way. And that's exactly how I am successful, my clients are successful, my followers are successful. We're all doing great things together, you know? Oh, hello. But it's all for the best for all of you guys, so that all of you guys can win, you know? All of you guys can win. Because the more of you that are winning, the less work I got to do. I don't feel like working all day, you know, so just listen so I can do less work. Just listen to what I'm saying, because I just want to do less work. I just want to relax, you know. Somebody said no, she's not in the bathroom shouting praises. I love it. How do you take that? How do you tone down your big ego and hard head? Is so difficult for me. For me, the way I did it was I required receipts. I could sit here and tell myself all day that I'm amazing and I'm gorgeous and I'm this and I'm actual black mermaid. I'm AB in the dating coach. Ooh, I'm so amazing. I'm so tiny. You know, I can sit there and tell myself that all day. But the thing is, if somebody's not treating me the way that I want to be treated, or treating me in a way that's at least respectful, then it doesn't really mean anything. You know, it's just a title. So what I do is I require receipts, and if they don't provide me the receipts, then it's time for them to be blocked.
Within 30 days, 30 banking days.
If they don't if they don't send me any type of receipts to show me, oh yeah, I do respect you. I do love your work. I do respect how smart you are. They need to be saying these things to me, showing it to me in some type of way, like performing their love for me, or they need to be paying me in some type of way, whether it's gifts, dates, affection, or something like that, service, acts of service, any of that. Otherwise, I don't need to be up in my head. Yeah, because I feel like when that doesn't happen, I feel like the way that people go is by being egotistic and narcissistic. Like, oh, he's just not doing it because I'm so amazing. And it's like, that's actually what's going to make you sit there and wait for it. Yeah. You know, why don't you sit there and tell yourself, look, he's not doing this stuff because I'm giving him access to me without doing it. And because I'm giving him access without doing it, he doesn't feel like he needs to. So he doesn't feel like he's ever going to lose me, which means he's feeling like I don't mean enough to him.
Are you feeling the drag as well? Because I feel like she just came from my trachea. I suddenly feel like, sorry, did you come here to just drag people? Just empty the clip on us. Like,
I'm just trying to get it, but for real, that's how I get it. I'm like, look, if I mean that much to him, then he would show me. And I'm going to give him the chance by stepping away and allowing him to do the work that he needs to do to get me back.
She gives him a chance, one chance. How charitable.
Exactly. I'm going to step away. I'm going to step back, not do anything.
Let him show his intentions.
Let him show me how much I mean to him.
Yes.
And then after that, I'll determine if I'm actually the actual black mermaid. Ooh, so good. ABM the dating coach. Ooh, I'm so amazing. Like, after that, that's when I'll decide if I am all of that to him. But before then, I don't mean anything to him, which means I don't have to invest anything into him.
That's so interesting what you said. Like, assume, and this will help you a lot, assume that he's A, lying, and B, assume that you don't mean anything to him. It gives you room to observe from an objective plane.
Exactly.
You can actually look at him from a very objective lens rather than a romantic, cloudy, hazy lens based on the limited information and the limited flirting that he's given you. And like, that's definitely been something that's very valuable for me in our sessions as well. And I always want to be very honest and open about the fact that, yes, I'm a client. Yes, I'm currently in a session. Yes, as a fireside, it's taken way longer than it should. But I feel like that's why it's important for me to tell you, because yes, I do have a large profile. And yes, I am someone who is relatively very evolved for a Sagittarius fire sign. But we do have our tendencies. But I don't want to make this too much about myself as a fire sign. I want to make this as universal and as accessible as possible, because whether you are hard-headed and hard to take heed advice, or whether you're someone who is really good at taking advice immediately, honestly, the hardest thing is starting. And I think the first stage for anybody who is interested in possibly starting a session is remember and keep in mind, and I say this very clearly, Imani is not a therapist or a relationship.
Oh, they find out when
She's a dating coach.
Yeah, right. And they find out when they when they reach out to me, because I remind them. But people know from reading my page, and that's why I encourage you guys to read my Instagram, because you will always
YouTube videos. She has so much free content,
and I organize it for you guys for you to find everything that you need because I don't like being asked a bunch of questions. So
Ask you the same question.
I got too many clients. I don't need to be asked the same questions 1,000 times.
And the information's already out there.
Exactly. Just read the information. Just read the information.
Agreed.
Listen to the information that's on
Mhm.
YouTube so that you can find exactly what you need. Because you guys, I think it's really, really important that that we remind people that they are powerful,
Yes.
and they are all powerful in their own way, but without telling them that, you're enabling them, especially being blind to bullshit that's happening around them.
Yeah.
And that's been a really, really important lesson that I had to learn and teach to everybody else, because we gotta make sure everybody's in a winning team mindset. It's just like being an athlete, who wins all of championships, like being Serena Williams. Like, you could be Serena Williams and know that you're the best, you're always going to win and everything. But if Serena Williams really got lazy about her ethic, her skill, and everything,
you feel that too?
Because she just knew she was the best, she knew she was going to win, then she would not be the best, because she wouldn't be aware of what was going on in front of her or around her. And that's exactly the mindset that I try to keep with all of you guys.
Yes, and this is very, very, very rigorous, and I definitely think that if you've just come out of a relationship and you're still feeling traumatically attached to that person, it's definitely within your best interest to either A, seek therapy, or B, take time out to do your own healing so that when you do approach Imani, you are ready to actively date. This is not going to be a situation where you're trying to get back at your ex.
Oh yes, please.
Revenge date so that you can make him see that I've got options too. No, this is about you, your future, and your happy ending. And only you can decide and determine what your happy ending looks like. Like for me, for example, I've decided that my happy ending is me genuinely finding someone who isn't just excited about my life and my career, but someone who actively wants to be a part of my life, because they understand that being a part of my life means that not just they get to witness my happiness, but as a result of witnessing my happiness, they get to experience happiness too as a byproduct. But also it means that they are able to say with hand on heart that they contributed to my happiness, and I wouldn't feel ashamed about admitting that yes, they did. And that's what I want for myself. I want to be able to partner with someone who is not just aware of what I do, but is also aware of the role they have in my life. Because as a man, as a straight man, you are not taking up space in my life for free. If you're bi, if you're gay, if you're trans, if you're queer, you're welcome. But if you're a straight cis man, the rules apply. I don't care if you're cute, I don't care if you got money, I don't care if you've been helping me for a long time, you will still have to jump through the same hoops as everybody else, because the world has been built in a way that enables you to access leverage at my expense. So I'm going to need you to make up for that. And you know deep down in your heart that you do have that responsibility, and only the evolved ones, only the ones that know their true value can approach me and truly be able to witness and experience my greatness. And I don't feel ashamed about saying that, number one. And number two, I'm not scared of how long it will take. And I think that's the thing with wanting to be one of Imani's clients, is that this process can't be rushed. It might take longer for some people, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. Yeah. For me, it's taking a lot longer because I have a large profile, so it means that, when certain guys do approach me and I show it to Imani, we both have to, think, is this guy approaching because he just wants to be a part of something that is great to talk about, or is he approaching because he genuinely does see some greatness? And it's great to be able to speculate and examine that, but also it's about understanding that regardless of how many guys that are approaching you, regardless of how many guys that swipe back, regardless of how many guys that you actually click with, it is not a reflection of your values, it's a reflection of what you're currently doing. So it could mean you don't have great pictures, it could mean that you're replying too fast, it could literally mean that you aren't comporting yourself properly. So this is never going to be about you not being good enough. If Imani ever says you're not doing the right thing, it just means change your pictures. And I think, like you say a lot, pictures are the number one thing, especially if you date online. You want to make sure that your profile communicates, one, I like nice things. So that means either you are dressed, look at how me and Imani are dressed. We're dressed like we're going out to go drinking, which we've done a bit of.
I know.
Also, it's like, if anyone was to approach either of us, they know to approach us with a little bit more tact, a little bit more strategy than they would approach a girl who is in the street wearing I don't know, a skate address with Vans, because skate address with Vans communicates coffee date. We right now are communicating Michelin star dining,
Right.
and that's a very important thing. But also, it's like understanding that it's in your best interest to put this work into yourself. Imani's not going to go out of her way to make you take extra fancy pictures and go out and leave your house and
There's
spend
no
money
way I can do it.
What's it going to do for her?
Yeah. It's nothing I can do to make you invest the best into yourself. You have to want to do it. You actually have to want to do it. And this is exactly why I'm not a hard promoter of my sessions, because you have to want to come to me. You know, I know a lot of people come to me and they're like, do you work with people who are plus size? Do you work with people who are Christian? Do you work with people who are divorced? Do you work with people who are queer? Do you work with people who have mental illness? You have to decide that you are ready to date.
And you're ready.
Yeah, because everybody dates. Everybody dates.
Including people with mental illness, lifelong conditions.
In therapy, all types of people.
With a lifelong condition.
Yeah, queer people, plus size people, everybody dates. You have to decide that you are ready to date and you're ready to get out there. I can't decide that for you. Just like I can't make you put an effort into your pics. I can't make you put an effort into wanting to go out and meet people. That's why it's very important that it's like you want to put that effort into yourself and making a life change. Because I can tell you exactly how to do it, but if you don't want to do it, if you don't want to apply it, then it won't happen for you. It's just like I can tell you exactly how to make some money or give you a business idea, but if you don't want to actually apply the business idea, then you'll never make money from it. You know, same thing. It's the same thing.
So wisely.
Yeah, to figure out if you want to.
Waste.
Exactly. It's your money and it's your time. So it's like you got to figure out if you want to apply it, and just know that all of you are worthy of whatever you're aspiring to do, because everybody dates. None of you guys are weirdos who can't date. Everybody dates.
Only men are weirdos.
Yeah, exactly. Only straight men are weirdos. Like everybody dates. It's nothing that's holding you back from getting the love that you deserve. It's literally nothing. The only thing that's holding you back is just believing that you're not worth it. So, I mean, I'm here to teach you how to do it, and Jadair is here to encourage you, especially with being alone and being happy on this whole journey.
Because it's not fun and roses. Like when you do decide that you have high standards, when you are specific about what you want your life to look like, when you do have a concrete outline of how you want to live your life, you will find that your phone is going to be a bit dry, a little bit dry. And don't be scared of that. It doesn't mean that you're unattractive. It doesn't mean that you're less loved. It just means that you are going through a period where only those who level up and match up will have access to you. And I think it's a good thing to have a dry phone, because if too many people have access to you, you aren't enforcing enough standards. And for me, as someone who has a very dry phone at the moment, like anytime I am interacting with someone and I show it to Amani in terms of someone that I'm dating or someone I'm interested in, it means that I can actually approach the conversation with a lot more consciousness, because I don't get many texts from people, and I prefer it that way, because if two people have access to you, you're doing too much.
Same. Everybody does not have my number, and it's just because, first of all, I'm talking to my clients all day. I'm talking to you guys all day.
We don't have each other's numbers.
Exactly, and we still find a way to link up.
So don't let any guy.
Don't let the guys. I literally came from DC all the way to New York. She came from London. We still don't even have each other's numbers, and we still figured out. So don't let these guys lie to you. Don't let these guys lie to you, because they're fucking lying. If they're telling you they can't link up with you without your number, they're lying. Because we're flying from different countries linking up, okay? Like, not wasting any international minutes.
And it was on time.
On time.
Like, we'll be
literally.
In touch.
Exactly.
By 2 p.m.
Exactly.
So, and that's a good point, actually, because like you were talking earlier about, you know, on one of your, actually quite a few of your videos about, you know, if a guy asks you for your number on a dating app, tell him you prefer to exchange numbers after meeting, because dating apps have the same, you know, data usage and connectivity as WhatsApp.
It's the same thing.
So if someone wants to reach you and update you, they will with regardless of the messaging medium.
Yeah.
It's about them contacting you. It's not about where they contact you. And I think we get a bit too caught up in, you know, I'll give him my number because it's a more personal space. But actually, it's like, no, let him reach out via maybe Bumble, Hinge, whatever you're using, and let him really earn that opportunity, because he's a guy, and if he really wants to find you or access you or keep you updated, he will, even if it's via email. Email. He will.
Yep, because I message her all the time. Got up and I was like
every day.
Yeah, and on my way here I was like, I'm going to New York, or I'm here.
15 minutes,
I'm 15 minutes away. I'm in my Uber. Like
screenshots were sent. Like it's not hard.
It's really not that hard.
Believe them.
So
don't believe these men.
Yeah, all these people come to me all the time. Well, after I don't give him my number, he ghosts me because he wasn't trying to take you out. He was just trying to collect your number and probably like 5 other girls' numbers so he can have somebody to talk to when he's lonely and bored. So don't even fall for that, because it's very easy to connect with people. I connected with her from literally another state. Okay, she just flew here from London. Like I literally updated her all day while I was coming here.
And I was doing the same, because I actually flew out here to speak at an event.
Exactly.
I was supposed to be at the event right now, but because it got cancelled, long story, I was keeping Imani updated. I sent her screenshots of my communication with my manager, the event host. I was like, girl, I don't want you to feel like I'm wasting your time. This is what's happening. And I feel like if a guy likes you, he will do the same. He'll make it clear that he's really interested in you. Because with me, I respect my friendship with Imani very much. So I want her to know that I'm not trying to play with her time. I'm trying to let her know, look, this is what's happening. But if a guy likes you, he'll do the same. He'll be like, look, this is the only place I can reach you. Here's what's happening. I might be running late, or here's why I haven't paid you. Here's why I haven't sent you a gift. He will do whatever with what he's got. Give him a little bit and see what he does with it. And then if he does the right thing, give him a little bit more. Obviously, with women, it's different. For me, like my relationship with women is to the point where I feel like that's the only place where I can truly express my giving kind of side of myself. Like anytime I hang out with money, it's like I get to actually just like enjoy not worrying about comporting myself in a certain way, because I'm not on a date. I'm actually hanging out with someone that I not just admire, but someone who I have a friend in, like
same.
It's like this is so great. With guys, complete opposite. With guys, it's like you, from the moment I see you, need to do everything within your power and reach to not just impress me, but convince me to come and see you again. But with women, queer people, trans people, non-binary people, I feel like that's the only place that I can truly relax and express myself. And I feel like everyone should try to, especially if you're straight and you're dating men, try to make room for yourself to still express the characteristics about yourself. Because what you don't want to do is like feel like you're not being yourself anymore.
Yes, and then end up meeting a guy that you really like and overgiving to him. Actually,
for so long.
Exactly. Even if you don't have a lot of friends, just overgive to yourself. I don't care.
I've got shopping trips.
Just overgive to yourself. Overgive to somebody, some random person online that you admire. Just overgive.
As long as they're not a straight man.
Because then when you get a guy, you're gonna be more balanced about about how you go about it. So it's about loving yourself. It's very, very important, because if you take from yourself where you're like, oh well, I'm not dating anybody, so I don't need to get my nails done. I don't need to buy new hair. I don't need to go shopping. I don't need to get dressed for myself. All you're gonna do is put all that effort into this new guy that you're dating, all this effort, all this money, and that's how guys end up getting their bills paid by girls that they just
guys
met.
are the real sugar babies.
You know? That's exactly how that happens. So put all of that love, all of that money, all of that effort into stepping yourself up, into your business and everything like that. And I talk about this all the time. When that cicada did not show up to that thing, this is what came from it. My whole fucking business, okay? I did not sit there and start being like, oh my God, he didn't show up. Oh,
he doesn't like me, I'm ugly.
Oh my God. And the crazy part is, where was it? Where did it happen? I was in New York. Guess what I'm back in New York doing? Talking about my business expanding, okay? So it's just like, put it into your business, put it into yourself, okay? Because it's never worth it, depending on, I'm not even thinking about that cicada. So don't put it into nobody else, you know? Like, don't put it into nobody else. Don't give up on yourself. because of somebody not being there for you to date.
Agreed.
Don't stop looking good. Don't stop going places. Don't stop living your life because somebody's not, there for you, or somebody's not there to date. Because all you're going to do is end up spending too much on the next person that you end up committing to.
Over-investing.
Yeah, trying to make up for what you didn't put into yourself. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Clean.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Ooh.
So are you ready to go get something to eat? Or
I'm
ready to get something.
Might need to come off the slide.
I know.
Might do another later, who knows?
So everything is on YouTube. You don't or check here. Either way, the full thing is on YouTube. So both of them are great. And we will be talking to you guys
Thank you for
later.
hanging out with us. And remember, if you want a session with Imani, make sure you have done some self-examination,
and
some spiritual healing, whatever you need to do to get yourself together.
You need to buy her book first.
You move very fast.
Yeah, I moved very fast. Buy her book first.
It will help you.
Okay, before you even come to me, buy the book first on Amazon. Even I have the book, so buy the book first. Buy the book first, read it, digest it,
and then
think about it, and then come. Like, do that first, and we will be talking to you guys later.
It's been so real. Sending you so much love. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you can watch this later. This will be available online in case you're watching this from 6 months later.
Yeah, it's on ABM Talks.
Yes.
So we will be seeing you guys there. And thank you guys.
Bye. Ending this now.